am I going like crazy, or has like the internet gotten like the worst in like the past 5 years? Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy at all.
Like, I feel like it's gotten significantly worse. Not like the whole internet, but the way, as in like the level of like fucked up shit. Maybe there was there was a lot of messed up stuff, like you know, 5-6 years ago, whatever. But like, I feel like now it's all just out there.
I feel
like it's just so normal.
It's so interesting how it's like almost like an opposite effect that's happening. Like for some reason, even though the internet or the internet culture and people on the internet in the past 5-6 years have gotten more PC than ever before, and yet, like almost counterintuitively, there's more fucked up shit that has like come out onto the surface as well.
I think that's why.
In like retaliation, maybe I don't know.
You go PC, the more that these people
because I see shit now on like regular Twitter and Instagram that you don't ever find on like the fucking B-board.
Yeah, it's weird, man, because you're just like, am I weird for being like middle ground on everything? Like I feel like I have very normal opinions on things.
Yeah.
But the more I'm online, I'm like, am I not normal? Do I have not normal opinions?
Yeah. Like what is a normal opinion anymore?
Yeah. Just being, I feel like being fair. I'm like, I don't really have heavy opinions on, well, I see other people, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, common sense has definitely become less common. That's for sure.
I know, it's weird.
I don't know what's common sense anymore.
Yeah, it does feel like is this the point where where the older generation starts talking the newer generation? You know what I mean?
Like these damn kids.
Yeah, because I'm like, did you ever think like?
No. This is I think it's the opposite. I think it's because the internet in general has become more accessible to every age group. Right. That we're seeing all of this. Because before it was just like 20-year-olds who gave enough fuck to go on Facebook,
like social media and stuff like that.
And I felt that it was a very exciting time and everyone was like really into it, and and new websites
like
popped
the
up.
new hip thing.
Miniclip was still thriving,
rest in peace.
Farmville was still going strong. Mafia City. I'm just going to keep naming
the good old days, but, man. The good old days.
I feel like now because it's become so normalized and everyone uses it. Right?
Like, do you remember a point where it felt like there was a separation between what you did on the internet and what happened in real life?
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like when that barrier kind of like got broken, where you felt like what happened in the internet was pertaining to like your how can I say this? Because like internet is real life, but it didn't feel so like suffocating. It didn't feel like it had a tangible effect on your day-to-day life. But now it feels like whatever's going on in the internet, whatever's going on in the world, has this tangible effect, the tangible effect on what's going on in what you're doing.
You
every
literally
day.
just explained the plot to Serial Experiments Lane. Like that's
I kind of am.
That's literally what that is.
Wait, so what's the time you think it is? I'm curious if you have the same opinion on this.
What?
You said the time when it felt like that became.
The time when it felt like it became like
I
that?
feel it depends on how long you've been on the internet, right? Like, did you ever do like MySpace?
No, I came right after MySpace.
Did you do MySpace?
Did you have Bebo?
I had Bebo.
I did.
That was very popular in the UK.
Yeah.
Would you say like the Bebo and MySpace era, right? It's like roughly the same time, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you were on Bebo and when people on MySpace were on MySpace, did you see that as like this is me like completely tangible
it's a game.
To real life?
Social media is a game.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like how I go into Sims and I make myself look attractive.
I think because like that's how I kind of treated MySpace as well at the time, right? It's just it's like a social game, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like I think what really the first time I really thought of social media as a game was actually so Charlie Brooker. Do you know Charlie Brooker? He wrote Black Mirror.
Yeah.
So like a few years ago, or maybe even a decade ago, I can't even remember how old this video is. He did like a top 50 most influential games of like all time, and like number one was Twitter. Like and I was just like, what are you talking about, Charlie Brooker? Because before that he talked about games like
that's not a game,
Last of Us, fucking Tetris, all these games, and he was just like, well, think about it. You play as an avatar on an online platform where you gain points for interacting with the game. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, he's very right. He's like, social media at this point is a game, and we are all like. The game now is our job. It is our job because
we're falling right into the system.
We are part of the system, guys.
Damn it.
We can't criticize the system because we are the system.
We are the system.
We are part of the system. But that is definitely how social media has become. And I mean, like, in a way, like I see, especially like YouTube and stuff, as like a kind of like a game. I mean, it's been gamified to fuck. You post a video,
it is game.
You post a video, and it even puts you on a leaderboard on like how well it's performed in like the past 10 uploads you've done.
But the game, the stakes to it or whatever you give it.
Yeah,
you know, like a game it's the same with anything, right? Like it, you know, fucking Jump King, whatever it is. It's the game only means
0 days.
The game only means whatever you assign to it.
Yeah.
Right. So if you with the videos, right? If you're making these videos for the purpose of cracking that 1 out of 10, then yeah. But if you're just making the video because you want to make a video, and
I think it's a game. Yeah, like when you get to that point, it's like you're kind of testing the limits of what you can call a game, right? Like, you know, is the stock market a game? Some people will say yes. Some people say yes. Some people say no.
It's roulette with extra steps. It's roulette.
It's roulette with massive repercussions.
It's roulette where there's a really, really boring option that will probably pay you back, or you can spin the wheel. Yeah. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Oh, Dogecoin. You know, come on. I mean,
it's like Deal or No Deal, but it's actually serious.
Yeah. I felt like I don't know when the internet started to become very, very real, if you will.
Yeah.
But it definitely jacked up to 100 at 2016. I think that was when it definitely like.
What 2016?
Presidential election.
Huh?
First presidential, Trump's presidential election. I feel like that's when it just went boom.
Yeah.
That's when like the split went like crazy. I felt like the left-leaning internet, right-leaning internet just went really full on.
I feel like
I think it might be earlier, and it's just that we weren't really aware of it.
You know what it was.
I'm saying it might not have started then, but that's when the dial went like fucking 500.
Yeah.
You know when it was?
What?
It was when YouTube Rewind started becoming shit.
Okay, tell me your theory.
I don't know because
so what's that like 2014?
2014?
Okay,
about,
okay,
yeah.
Okay,
I don't know. I'm just thinking back, and I'm just thinking, when YouTube Rewind,
as in when everything on the internet stopped being universally loved.
Yeah. Basically, when we start like being segmented, I guess. I just tried to verbalize how I felt, and I'm just like, kind of feels around the same time that I stopped giving a shit about YouTube Rewind.
Yeah.
So that kind of feels like it was 2014, 2013, maybe
something like that.
Very early on when I stopped, when the internet stopped being like one conglomeration and and you see things happening and you just didn't recognize who this person was, who that person was. People stopped getting along, and you know, factions and groups started to form. And
but that's why it took something like the presidential election, which is like the most televised horse race in existence, if you will. It's like, it's so, you know, because other countries we don't. You know, the UK, it's like, we have this whole thing about who the new prime minister is going to be, but we don't nearly like make it as exciting, you know, as America does. America's so good at making it hype.
I mean, I
feel like it was the perfect event that was so polarizing and so well telegraphed with so much information and so many parties putting stuff into it.
I think
regardless of your opinion on it, and who you voted for, I don't give a shit. I'm just saying you can't ignore the fact that this was a thing that just really took the internet and just fucking ran with it.
I think it's also around the time roughly when like a lot of social media sites were like just where that kind of discussion was just becoming more open. Like that was roughly around the time where like Twitter increased their like character limit.
Yeah,
so people were like, people, you know, could only tweet about like, yay, Obama won, and that was it. And now it was like, let me write a full fucking novel about how I feel about this presidential election.
And then, you know, this is when they also, after that is when the platforms started having to correct misinformation. And that further caused more of a divide. And then now there's just different platforms for different opposing views. So now you don't even get to hear the other side. You're in an echo chamber.
Yeah, I feel like what was so prevalent about not just the presidential election, but just that year in general, was that it felt like that was the real turning point for where social media kind of felt just like a TV show. It was like a part of entertainment, right? Where
the presidential election is the best rated TV show of all time, I'd probably say. Everyone tunes in to watch the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, like, it even had like a build-up season, which was Brexit, right? You know, we had like the mid-season.
Was that the pilot episode?
No, that was the mid-season twist, right? We had the mid-season twist, and we're like, guys, this show can't get any better. Like, there's no possible way they can surprise me.
But
Joke's on you.
You'll never expect what comes next.
Okay. Just fucking look, right? Look at how they decide the nominee for the presidential thing. Look at that shit. It's laid out like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You see them all there. They're in this semicircle with all this amazing fucking TV show-esque Britain's Got Talent background, and they all take turns, a massive audience and shit. What is this shit?
Yeah.
Like what? Who gives a shit? Let the party pick, and then we'll fucking decide who wins.
Yeah.
This whole thing is so reality TV show-esque.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Like when you sit down and you're like, what am I watching? Like this is fucked up.